So it's very challenging when you start exposing a lot of the things that are culturally normal, and
Yeah.
to most people they'll say, "Oh, well," there's two responses many people will give. One is, "I'm offended because I actually really like this and identify with it." Well,
Mhm.
you wouldn't identify with it unless there's some truth in it somewhere. So it's just a big
Right.
fat lie wrapped in truth, and
Mhm.
it allows you to believe something. How can you believe
Yeah.
something if it's not believable? So the idea that, we can have things that we identify with, and then we can be offended if we find out or we discover there might be some reason to question it,
Yeah.
right? That can be challenging. So that's somebody's response. That could be somebody's response. And then another response could be, well, like, I'm okay with questioning things that are available to me in my life. However, how do I even live in this world if I don't know the root of every single
Yeah.
thing out there? And this is really important. And I think I'm going to share this just as a, like, context clue for people. But I think I said earlier, God has his different stages on the journey, each one of us. Um, so like you said earlier, the outer court very different than the inner court,
And the
and
Holy Spirit, yeah.
the holy of holies, and the purification process. I mean, I was reading in Leviticus earlier, Aaron's sons, and how they just, like, the process of whether you take that holiness or being set apart seriously.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
and I think for me, I think you need to trust where you're at on your journey with God, number one. Like,
Yeah.
for anybody listening, right? If you're like, oh my gosh, how do I even live in this world with so much stuff that's out there? I'm just starting to realize, or I've always known, but I don't know how to navigate it. It's like, keep growing in your relationship with God. And I'm
Yeah.
reading Psalm 58 here because I think this is really important for somebody to hear. But it says, God who judges the earth. It says, God who judges the earth. Do you indeed decree what is right, you gods? Do you judge the children of man uprightly? No, in your hearts you devise wrongs. Your hands deal out violence on the earth.
Mm.
And the point of that is to say, when I read that it just, like, it's as I'm listening to what's going on, as I'm processing, as I'm trying to listen to Holy Spirit, I think what people need to remember is God judges the earth. God
Yeah.
is the ultimate judge.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, the Bible does tell us to expose darkness. It does tell us to, even the occult. I was looking up, what does occult mean? It means secret, in secret. It has roots in the word secret, secretive. And so the idea that the enemy wants you to keep something in secret, keep something hidden. I mean, that's how shame develops.
Yeah.
That's how shame develops. That's how some of these things that we're talking about, they can take root in your life, is because they're secretive. But what you need to know and what you need to trust is that if you are not secretive with God, if you are not secretive with him, if you can come to God full-heartedly, if you can open up yourself, and I mean this, in your heart and mind. This is a challenge, guys. I'm not saying like this is easy for me, but this is a process and a journey in your relationship that I think every single person needs to know is possible. That
Yeah.
you can develop a relationship with the living Jesus, and you can develop a type of relationship where you trust him enough to tell him anything. And not
Yeah.
even with your voice, but in your heart and in your mind, the things that are unspoken, the groanings of your spirit. Like, if you can trust that that is the God that you are joined with, that Holy Spirit is in you, and that the triune, one true God is the God that you can trust and have that relationship with. You don't need to walk around this earth in fear of every single thing around every single corner. In fact, you walk around this earth with authority because you understand that God is leading you and that you're not perfect, and you rely on his grace, and in his timing, perfect
Mhm.
timing, he will reveal to you, like he's done with Aisha, like he's done with me, like he'll do with you. He will reveal to you, and he'll continue to do this with us and with you, the things that are necessary to remove or to
Yeah.
add. in your
Yeah.
life, right? And
Yeah.
so it's really important, I think, for you guys, as if you're listening, like, trust that if God is leading you, He will reveal to you at the appropriate time. He will
Yes.
reveal to you. And it's really about, are you listening and are you responding? That's the key. That's like super, super key for all of this stuff that we're talking about. Open doors, the entertainment aspect, the idols aspect, the physical idols aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, open doors can happen through relationship, all kinds of stuff.
Absolutely.
So all kinds of things that this can look, and all kinds of ways this can look. Don't have fear. God is the judge, but trust that if He's leading you, He'll lead you into the necessary steps that you need to take.